Hello, boys and girls. We are here today to learn about making connections. Before we begin, I want to show you a hand signal, and it goes like this. Make a little link, like a little chain, like a little circle, and then another little circle, another link, and you're putting them together and you're connecting them. So when you're learning about something today, you're going to have one thing and then it's going to connect with something else, and you're going to get to say that you have made a connection. Now, by doing this, you will be able to, it will help you understand and to remember the text better. This anchor chart is talking about making connections. When you read, you're going to find ways that the text is like things in your own life and other texts that you have read. And it all starts with a book. This says, it all starts here. So this kid right here is thinking about him playing basketball. That is called text to self. So text, remember we learned earlier this year that text just means a book, doesn't it? So book to self. He's reading a book and he's thinking about himself, something that he did with basketball. He could say, this reminds me of when I, what? Played basketball with my friend. That could be what he said. The second one is called text to text. So that would be like book to book. So she's reading a book and she's thinking about a book. She could finish the sentence, this is like another book that I read. And then she could say what that book is. And then she could say a little bit about how that book goes together. And the last one is text to world. So she's thinking about the book she's reading, and then she's thinking about something that she knows in her world that refers back to the book. Now, just because it says world, it doesn't mean that it has to be across the world, because this says this is like something that happened in my community. So it could be talking about your neighbor, or it could be talking about friends at school, things that have done things at school with you. So, or just things that you've seen them do, really. Okay, so let's move on and let's read our book for the day. Our book for the day is called The Best Season. The Best Season. Here we go. A year has 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, and fall. But which season is the best of all? Winter is the best season. I love it. Oh, she's talking about an opinion, right? She's giving an opinion about which one she loves the most. I love winter because the weather is cold. Ice sparkles on the trees. The wind makes my nose cold. Cold winter days are great for ice skating. That's true. That is fun. Winter is the best season because it snows. The snowflakes look pretty as they fall. Snow covers cars and houses and trees. It is fun to sled. It is fun to make snowmen. Wow, those kids look like they're having tons of fun. And there is just a picture. I think that maybe it's just a picture because it's probably the centerfold. So this picture is, see, she's got some hot chocolate probably and a book. Let's see if it's going to talk about that, because it's like in the middle to where you can see both pictures at the same time. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Let's see. I like winter because it is a time to rest. Winter days are short. The sun sets early. Winter nights are perfect for hot chocolate and reading books. It is cozy and warm. Oh, now look at this. Now it's going to tell us about something else. Those are good reasons to like winter. What about summer? I think summer is the best season. Here are my reasons. So she has an opinion about another one, doesn't she? Summer days are sunny. The sun makes flowers grow. Trees get leafy and green. Butterflies and birds fill the sky. Sunny days make me smile. Oh, they make me smile too. Summer days are beach days. The sand is hot. The water is cool. We can make sand castles. I was just making sand castles the other day. Summer days are outdoor days. There are many good games we can play. We can jump rope and play tag. Warm summer days are perfect for roller skating. I like summer because the days are long. Summer days slip into summer nights. At sunset, the sky turns red. Fireflies dance in the air. It is fun to stay outside on summer nights. We can eat ice cream and strawberries. I just love summer days and summer nights. That does sound like something I might want to do tonight. Every season can be fun. What is your favorite season? Okay, so this girl's was winter, and this girl's favorite season was summer. So I want you to decide which one is your favorite. Is it winter or is it summer? Whichever one it is, I want you to yell out that word, winter or summer. I'm going to say summer because there's so many cool things that you can do in the summer. And I love winter things too, but I think summer things are my very favorite. Now, moving on, let's look at a condensed version of the anchor chart. I took the anchor chart and I made just the one that we were talking about at the very first one. And this says text to self. Remember, he's got his book and he's thinking about himself. Well, I chose two pictures or two thoughts that remind me of the book. So this book, The Best Season, reminds me of doing things with my granddaughter. Here I was at a children's museum in San Antonio where we were playing in the water. And I know that they were doing that in the book. And here I'm doing some outdoor activities with two friends. And if you look really close, you might recognize this lady right here. That's Miss Stevens. If you said that, you were correct. So this book reminds me of doing these summer things with these people. Now, the next one is called Text to Text. That means book to book. This is another book I read. Now, look at this book right here, Day and Night. Do you recognize that book? You're right. That's the book that we read last week. I just read that book to you, didn't I? So I want you to answer these two questions because in your online lessons, it actually says that you should talk about this. It says that you should answer the questions, how are these two books alike? And also, how are these two books different? And then I want you to think about it, tell someone there, or you can just write it on a piece of paper and send it to your teacher. So the questions are, how are these two books alike? And how are these two books different? So stop the video and answer those questions quickly. So finishing up with the text to text, let's talk about how When it says text to text, it means that we are talking about how these two books are similar, how this book reminds me of this other book that I already read at another time. Now we're going to read the last part, text to world. That's the third part of our anchor chart. And this is when it says, this is like something that happened in our community. Now, these are some pictures of kids from my class, plus one more right here. And so we have Dodge and Jennings and Cash and Keir and Gunner and Tucker, or Gunner and Tucker. And then we have Emily's hands right here. You can't see her face, but that's in her yard. Now, these are things that these kids are doing at their house, because we have to all be at our house now, right? And so they are in my community. So this book is reminding me of the things that they have been showing me that they're doing in my community and in their community. So, and just always remember, when it says world, it means people in your community and the world around you. So it doesn't have to be just the big world. It can be your school community. It can be your neighborhood community. So remember about the links. Don't forget, text to world. This book reminds me of these different things that these kids are doing in the book. Now, let's look one more time at our anchor chart and be reminded of our pictures that go with it. So here I am playing in the water, and that is text to self. That would be me reading this book and saying, this reminds me of when I did this with my granddaughter. Then this one is text to text. This book and this book, they both remind me of each other, right? So when I'm reading this book, it reminds me of reading the Day and Night book from last week, because it both talked about seasons. And the last one, text to world, this book reminds me of these two boys playing in the summer. Now, I want you to get your hand signal ready. And I want you to go out and make some connections. Have fun in the process.